Developing now at 6, pro-Palestine demonstrations on the SU campus. We'll have the details.
Plus, it's been over a month since Hamas attacked Israel. Our reporter Leah Cohn tells us how SU is supporting students during the uncertain times overseas.
And how one local business is feeling about the latest wave of property crime in Syracuse. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. A lot to get to. I'm Bradley Hoppenstein.
And I'm Olivia Maniscalco. We begin tonight with developing news. Shut it down for Palestine Day, urging people worldwide to walk out and protest. Protests are taking place in New York, Philadelphia, San Diego, Los Angeles, and even here on campus. Our CitrusTV reporter Peyton Spellisey was there today.
Olivia, Brad, as you can see behind me, we have students protesting. It's been just about a week since Gaza has been seized by IDF and 10,000 Palestinians' lives has been lost, according to this group protesting here. They're asking to cease fire. They're asking to cut all aid to Israel, and they're asking to stop the siege in Gaza.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Many people who protested did not want to speak, but we found one person who was compelled enough to get out of his car.
Here and I see protest, I come. Because I'm from Gaza, I said I should come.
He said the conflict has left his people with very little.
A lot of people there suffering. No electricity, no water, no food.
The protesters went from Maxwell to Crouse-Hines and ended up at the National Veteran Resource Center. He says their souls are also suffering.
And they need to talk and raise their voice up.
This has been the biggest protest here on campus since the Israeli-Hamas conflict started, and some are even saying that it reminds them of the Not Again SU protests that were on campus about 4 years ago. Reporting for CitrusTV News, I'm Peyton Spellisey.
Peyton, thank you. Syracuse Hillel is responding to today's walkout. In a statement, a spokesperson saying, quote, "Unfortunately, the student who spoke out at today's walkout event chose to use their platform to further antagonize and threaten the emotional safety of Jewish students on our campus by calling out the names of our Jewish organizations." The statement, which was sent out to organization members, expressing appreciation for university leaders, especially Chancellor Syverud.
All right, let's get to new details now. Tomorrow, SU is hosting its Veterans Day ceremony at the Veterans Center. The event begins inside the KG Tan Auditorium at 11 and will be followed by a reception. It will honor all those who served and celebrate SU's history of supporting veterans and their families. Walk-ins are also welcome at the event.
And what is better than some good discounts? If you're a veteran, be sure to take advantage of Veterans Day discounts all around Central New York. Tops Markets will honor veterans and their families with an 11% discount on Saturday. Goodyear is giving free car checks. Planet Fitness is offering free workouts to veterans until November 15th. And if coffee's more your thing, you can grab a free cup at Dunkin' or Starbucks. Free dental is also available thanks to Dr. Joan Laura, who is offering free care first come first serve at Eastwood Dental.
A concerning decline in the national blood supply has put a strain on patients here in Central New York. Reporter Elijah Brown is in studio to explain why. Elijah.
Right now, the American Red Cross is calling on all blood donors after supply levels fell nearly 25% since August. With new factors affecting this year's blood supply, Syracuse University hosted a blood drive to address growing concerns. The sight of blood may make some squeamish, but for these guys, the more blood they see, the better.
Well, the need for blood is constant, and all types of patients require platelets, red blood cells, plasma, which all come from a volunteer blood donation.
Katie Stefani from the American Red Cross says it's common to see blood donations decline as we approach the holiday season. Holidays often correspond with school breaks, resulting in fewer locations to host blood drives.
When schools are off, student blood donations really fulfill about 20% of our blood supply. So when schools are not operating, we will see a dip as well.
If blood isn't readily available, patients with medical emergencies are forced to postpone their treatment. Lisa says this is common for surgeries that require a significant amount of blood.
Any patients that need those types of products, which is about 1 out of every 7 hospital patients, and every 2 seconds somebody in America needs a blood transfusion.
Blood shortages are especially harmful to the 100,000 Americans suffering from sickle cell disease. However, receiving a transfusion of a yellowish component of blood can alleviate that damage.
Now this packet of yellow fluid is plasma. Now though donating whole blood is a simple and easy process, donating plasma requires a different procedure.
For platelets and plasma, that is a lengthier process, and that is not done at mobiles. That's actually done at our fixed sites, Liverpool, Utica, and that is one needle going in and then also one needle coming out.
American Cross Director says plasma can address a variety of issues because it can be processed into different components. For more information on how you can become a blood donor, visit redcrossblood.org. With Citrus TV News, I'm Elijah Brown.
Elijah, thank you. Well, Bradley, we have officially reached that time of the year where the sun has gone missing.
We're not going to see it for weeks, Olivia, and it's starting to get colder too. The sun with the time change is setting before like 5 o'clock now.
Yep, it is completely dark outside. That is really crazy to me. But here to tell us more about the weather is Citrus TV's weather anchor, Max Williams. Max?
Yeah, guys, just a cold day today. Didn't see much of that sun as you were talking about because of this cloud cover that we're having. But Syracuse sitting at 45 degrees right now, and look at this wind chill, 39 degrees, and that's because of this wind speed of 13 miles per hour coming out of the west, which is making those temperatures feel a lot colder than what they really are. Looking at our temperatures across the region, Elmira the highest right now at 52, Syracuse still sitting at 45 degrees, and everywhere else we're within the mid 40s. Now going to tonight, we're going to drop into the low 40s. The lowest we'll reach is 43 at 11. And mostly cloudy skies, cold and windy. So if you do plan on going out tonight, just make sure you grab a jacket because it is going to be chilly. Guys?
All right, Max, honestly not loving what I'm seeing there. Okay. But Hozier is coming to our local amphitheater here on his Unreal Unearthed tour. The Grammy-nominated artist, best known for his single Take Me to Church from 2013, will be coming to Syracuse. His latest album peaked at number 3 on the Billboard charts, and he'll be taking the stage on May 21st with special guest Allison Russell. Tickets go on sale on Friday, November 17th.
Hey, the concert's on my birthday. I better go. Well, if you're a beer fan, you can head downtown to the Landmark Theater next weekend. The 10th annual New York State Craft Beer Festival will take over the space. The festival brings together 55 brewers from every region of the Empire State. You can sample award-winning beers and even purchase a souvenir glass. Pre-sale tickets are $60 per person and can be purchased online. New York is the 5th largest beer producer in the country.
2 more Central New York students have become targets of sextortion. According to police, 2 children in the Fayetteville-Manlius School District have been exploited. This just 1 week after 2 Baldwinsville students fell victim. The school district saying in a letter to parents that talking with kids about not sharing sensitive or explicit material online is essential. Sextortion happens when someone online makes threats to release explicit photos of a person unless they pay money.
It's only been 2 days since voters made their picks, but Onondaga County is already looking for poll workers for next year's election. Election Commissioner Dustin Zarni says the county had low turnout for workers this year with only 800. Zarni says they'll need upwards of 1,000 for next year with higher profile races. He's looking for younger residents to watch the polls as well. Poll workers, of course, are responsible for watching polling places and are paid minimum wage. You can apply to help out by visiting the Onondaga County Board of Elections website.
Crime, a very important issue in our New York elections. Property crime numbers in Syracuse actually are up this year, and 1 decades-old business has been feeling the impact. Citrus TV's Ronnie Perillo takes us there and shares the owner's message.
In the last month, I have been burglarized twice and I have been robbed twice.
A frightening few weeks for a local staple.
It's still a very unsettling feeling for everybody.
Stephen Becker owns Genesee Dry Cleaners on Cherry Street in Syracuse and says what he and his staff have experienced in the past month is unlike anything he's seen in his decades at the store.
He just basically came in waited for the opportune time when he could just grab the jar and run out the door.
Becker says he's thankful that incident didn't turn violent, but says other small business owners on the city's east side have seen more petty theft since the pandemic.
It's definitely after COVID, it's gotten worse. All the incidents that I've spoken about have all been after 2020.
Now, the robberies that have happened at places like Genesee Dry Cleaners usually only involve a small amount of change, but even that can be costly and very inconvenient to small business owners.
We might just call it property crime. We might say it's not violent, but I would go and ask the victims of a burglary, the victims if their store got stolen from. It's not a victimless crime, and it really does impact people.
Malinowski telling us property crime has risen this year in Syracuse by 21%. Crimes where less than $1,000 is stolen is considered a misdemeanor in New York State. He says this makes it more difficult to keep repeat offenders off the streets. The department has been working with small business owners and residents to help them secure their properties. Becker says he just wants his customers and employees to feel safe walking into the cleaners.
I know that there's a lot of misfortune. I know that there's a great disparity between the wealthy and the not wealthy here in Syracuse. But there's got to be a line where you still uphold the law and that you don't resort to robberies, burglaries.
In Syracuse, Ronnie Perillo, Citrus TV News.
Ronnie, thank you. Still to come on News Live at 6, Israel agreeing to a pause in combat. Find out what it means when we return.
And it's what some are calling a medical miracle, the surgery that's giving a man a whole new way to see the world.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Bradley Hoppenstein, Olivia Maniscalco, and Max Williams. Now, your campus news leader continues.
After months of deliberation and long conversation with my family, I believe in my heart of hearts that I have accomplished what I set out to do for West Virginia. I have made one of the toughest decisions of my life.
That's West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin announcing just a few hours ago he will not seek re-election in 2024. A big blow to Democrats' chances of holding the Senate next year. The Democrat, a known moderate, has been a key in helping his party retain control of the Senate. Many close to Capitol Hill see the announcement as an easy opportunity for Republicans to gain another seat for one of their own on the floor next year.
Manchin was elected to serve as West Virginia senator back in 2010 after serving as the state's governor. As for what's next, Manchin says he will be traveling around the country in an effort to bring together voters from both sides of the aisle and strike a middle ground.
Let's get to the latest now in the Middle East as fighting between Israel and Hamas rages on in Gaza. The White House says Israel will start 4-hour pauses in fighting in parts of northern Gaza every day. Israeli officials have repeatedly said Hamas would need to release all of the roughly 240 hostages before the country would agree to a ceasefire.
Now, it's not clear how these pauses will differ from current ones, which Israel has been implementing for the past several days. Israeli officials say the brief pauses in fighting have been to allow Palestinian civilians in northern Gaza to move south. Today's agreement means that going forward, an announcement will be made 3 hours before each pause.
Let's take things back locally now. As that war continues, the SU community members have been affected by Many in the SU community have been affected by the war. Citrus TV's Leah Cohn is in studio now. Leah, what exactly is the university doing for students?
Thanks, Bradley. Now, it's been about 1 month since the first attacks near the Gaza Strip, and this week we spoke with Chabad House Rabbi Mendy and Hendricks Chapel Reverend Brian Conkle, who told us students are still seeking support from the Chabad House and events planned by Hendricks Chapel. This past family weekend, the Chabad House welcomed Jewish students' parents to an open forum where parents and students discussed Jewish life on campus. Rabbi Mendy told us a light in this time of darkness is students now have the opportunity to discover their personal identity and awareness tied with their religious beliefs.
I want people to grow and develop as human beings in college, and part of that for a Jewish person is their Jewish identity to continue to develop. And if that's happening in these times, that's a positive thing.
Since the first attacks near the Gaza Strip, Hendricks Chapel has been heavily working on the community building that goes towards helping all students affected by the war. Dean of Hendricks Chapel, Reverend Conkle, said that through peaceful vigils, discussion groups, pastoral care sessions, service projects, and sacred rituals, our intention is to create and sustain spaces of peace and grace in the midst of global uncertainty and fear. While Hendricks Chapel has held many events, we have seen that SU community members who are personally affected by the war have been in attendance. But according to SU freshman Kate Richter, as someone who is not personally affected, it has been difficult to find ways to show her support to her peers.
I do wish that the school took a little bit more action with just kind of reaching out to students. You know, when the war first happened, there was like a couple of emails that I got again from the chancellor, but other than that, I haven't really heard anything.
We will have continued coverage on the university's efforts to support students during this time and how students who aren't personally affected by the war can take advantage of all that Hendricks Chapel has to offer.
Leah, thank you for your coverage tonight. An Arkansas man is celebrating a world's first tonight. Doctors at NYU say they've completed the first ever total eye transplant. 46-year-old Aaron James is a veteran and suffered a high-voltage electric shock during an accident at work back in 2021. He lost his left eye in the accident, along with other parts of his face, but thanks to surgeons, he's now working his way back to seeing again.
One surgeon says the eye transplant is so new, there isn't even scientific research to support it yet. The procedure took a whopping 21 hours and more than 140 doctors and nurses.
And when we come back, a full look at your weekend forecast. Stay with us.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
the CitrusTV Weather Center. This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Back to CitrusTV News. Well, winter is around the corner, and maybe some of you have even started your holiday shopping. So I figured let's take a look at what our winter will look like here in central New York and the Syracuse area. So we are expecting to go back to more normal snowfall amounts. And we're expecting a strong El Nino, which will make for warmer weather, and that extra snow is going to be coming from these lake effect snow showers, which will be coming in because of that El Nino. And then snowfall will likely come towards the end of winter. So if you're a snow lover, you're going to have to wait towards the end of the winter to see a lot of snow come in. Now here's a look at your 5-day forecast. We're cloudy tomorrow and cloudy Saturday, but your warmest day for the rest of the week is going to be tomorrow. And best chance for some sun for the weekend is going to be Sunday. And your temperatures are staying within the mid-40s, but look at those night temperatures. We're within the 30s, so if you do plan on going out at all this weekend, just make sure you grab that jacket because it is going to be chilly. Guys, I'll send it back over to you.
Hey, Match. Coming up on News Live at 6, Syracuse men's soccer stumbled out of the gates in its quest of a repeat title. Plus, Adrian Autry now has 2 regular season games under his belt. We'll show you the highlights of those contests and a whole lot more when we return.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
For decades, Syracuse men's basketball has been the premier New York college basketball program. Over the past few years, though, the Orange dominance has slipped a little bit. Welcome into sports. I'm Andrew Selover. Over the last handful of seasons, Cuse has lost to Colgate, St. Bonaventure, and more in-state foes. And last night, the Orange had a first chance this season against an Empire State opponent. We'll check out the highlights between Syracuse and Canisius. Otto showing some love early on in the Dome, and so was Notre Dame transfer J.J. Starling getting the Orange on the board with an and one early. 2-0 Cuse. Later on, Malik Brown from Claudier Copeland, 22-15 Orange on that dunk, and the Orange never trailed in the first half, despite some fight back by the Golden Griffins. Yuri Fritz with a putback late. Just a 9-point game at the halftime break, but Justin Taylor was too strong going to the rack with that lay-in, and Judah Mintz with the dribble drive as well to put home 2 points and the foul. Syracuse would go on a 14-0 run, capped off by that J.J. Starling lay-in off the glass that put Syracuse up by 20 in the second half. The Golden Griffins showed a little more fight on the boards late, some good offensive rebounding, but in the end it was too much strength down low and a full team effort by the Orange to pull off an 89-77 win over Canisius. Next up for the Orange, Colgate on Tuesday in another New York State battle. The Orange have lost 2 in a row to the Raiders. And as basketball season kicks into full gear, the soccer season is winding down. Syracuse men's soccer trying to defend both its ACC and national championship from a season ago. And last night, the Orange squared off against North Carolina in the ACC tournament semifinals at home. We'll check out the highlights of this game as well. Syracuse warming up early against the Tar Heels. The Orange the 6th seed in the tournament and UNC the 7th seed. So the Orange hosting, but early on it was North Carolina. A fire start. Martin Vickian lays in the goal in the 7th minute, and later in the first half, just 8 minutes to play till halftime, a second goal to put UNC up 2-0 from Daniel Cooch. Syracuse showed some fight. Nick Kalukian from Giorgio Kaczewski to get it back to a 1-goal game in the 55th minute. But 2 minutes later, Giorgio Kaczewski, with a big-time mistake, gets a straight red card from that foul after video review. Syracuse down to 10 men, and in the 70th minute, Martin Vickian strikes again and wins it 3-1 for North Carolina. After the game, Ian McIntyre shared his outlook after the loss.
The decision for us to go down a player was very difficult, but big picture, very proud of this group for their run in the ACCs, and excited to take a couple of days off and then get ready for the national tournament.
Speaking of the national tournament, Syracuse learns its NCAA tournament draw on Monday when the bracket is announced. Again, the Orange trying to defend their title from a season ago. One team that already learned its fate in the NCAA tournament was Syracuse field hockey. The Orange lost to Virginia in the quarterfinals of the conference tournament. After the defeat, Syracuse only had fringe hopes of a national tournament bid, but sometimes fringe hopes are all you need. Syracuse actually got a bid and makes it into the NCAA tournament in the first year under head coach Lynn Farquhar. The Orange kick off that tournament in Durham, North Carolina tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon against Liberty. Syracuse coming in at 10-7. The Flames an unbelievable season so far with 2 wins against ACC opponents and searching for a third. Back to you guys.
All right, Andrew, thank you. When we come back, Max Williams with your Wake Up Weather.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner! Go?
Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there. We're the
Yeah!
Oh, I thought you were on my team.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Well, it's going to be pretty cloudy tomorrow, and temperatures pretty chilly with temperatures in the low 40s. We do have a slight chance for some light scattered showers, so before you head outdoor, just make sure you grab that rain jacket. Guys?
Thank you, Max. That's Citrus TV News Live at 6 this Thursday.
I'm Bradley Hoppenstein.
And I'm Olivia Maniscalco.